All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're doing a deep dive into 10 life lessons at 50 for your 20s.
Ooh, I love it. It's like getting advice from your future self.
Right. Someone sharing wisdom from almost, 6 decades on the planet?
Yeah, sign me up for that.
We've distilled it down to 7 key takeaways for this deep dive.
Okay.
Things like mastering your willpower, creating a network,
Hmm.
even choosing the right partner.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Huge. All things that I think can feel super overwhelming when you're just getting started.
Oh, absolutely.
So the first lesson that really jumped out was mastering your willpower.
Okay.
The source calls it a superpower in a world full of distractions.
Hmm.
Have you ever felt that pull to constantly be checking your phone or
Yeah.
getting sidetracked by every notification that pops up?
Constantly. It's like our brains are wired to seek novelty and instant gratification. So willpower is so crucial, right?
Yeah.
It's the ability to resist those impulses and stay focused.
Yeah.
There's so much research out there about strengthening willpower.
Like what?
Well, one technique I've found helpful is the Pomodoro method.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
I haven't.
Okay, so it's actually pretty simple. You set a timer for like a focused work session,
Okay.
usually like 25 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
followed by a short break. And the key is to eliminate all distractions during those work sprints.
Oh, I see.
No phone, no emails,
Focus.
just pure focus on whatever the task is.
Wow.
It's like interval training for your brain.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And the source also had a realization about willpower.
Yeah.
They initially thought talent was everything,
Right.
but they learned that consistency and hard work,
Mm-hmm.
fueled by willpower, are what really make a difference.
It's so true. It's a misconception to think that success is all about talent.
Oh, for sure.
True mastery comes from consistency and effort.
Yeah.
Pushing through resistance, and that's where that willpower comes in.
Right. And the source actually mentioned starting small
Okay.
to train your focus.
Yeah.
Things like setting daily goals
Huh.
or even just taking a few minutes for mindfulness each day.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about building those tiny habits.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to overhaul your entire life,
Right.
focus on small, sustainable changes.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
So we've tackled willpower.
we did.
The next lesson is all about being a producer, not just a consumer.
Ooh, interesting.
I think this is something that we can all relate to, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the endless scroll of social media
Okay.
or just this constant influx of news and information.
Definitely.
It's like we're always consuming but rarely creating.
It's true. I think the key is to recognize the difference between passive consumption
Mm-hmm.
and active creation.
Okay.
Consuming content can be enjoyable, it can be informative,
Yeah.
but it's important to balance it with activities that allow us to express ourselves and contribute our talents.
How do we do that?
Well, whether it's writing or painting, building a business, or even, just cooking a meal for loved ones.
Right.
Those acts of creation can bring a deep sense of satisfaction.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling.
And they tap into our need to make a difference.
Okay, so the source actually challenges you to create more than you consume this week.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
I love that. I think that's a great challenge.
It could be anything from writing a blog post to starting a small side hustle or even just volunteering your time.
That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah. It shifts our focus from passive observation
Yeah.
to active participation.
Love it.
It encourages us to, experiment,
Step outside your comfort zone.
right, and discover hidden talents we may not even know we have.
Okay, so now for another eye-opening idea from the source, they claim that your network
Mm.
is often more important than your knowledge.
Oh, interesting.
I can already imagine some people pushing back on that, but hear me out.
Okay.
I think it's important to understand the context.
Yeah.
Knowledge is essential, of course.
Of course.
But in today's world, who you know and how you connect with others
Mm-hmm.
can really impact your opportunities and your growth.
It's all about those connections, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. A strong network
Mm-hmm.
can provide mentorship, open doors to collaborations,
Absolutely.
offer support during tough times.
The source admits they learned this the hard way.
Really?
They thought expertise alone would be enough,
Oh.
but life had other plans.
I think that's a common misconception
Yeah.
when you're starting out.
Mm-hmm.
We focus so much on honing our skills and building knowledge
Right.
that we neglect building those relationships.
Yeah.
But even the most brilliant minds
Mm-hmm.
benefit from a supportive community.
Right. And it's not about using people or being transactional.
No, absolutely not.
It's about nurturing those genuine connections where
Yeah.
you both add value to each other's lives.
Exactly. It's about building authentic relationships based on mutual respect, shared interests, and a desire to support each other's growth.
I love that.
And the beautiful thing is that those connections can extend far beyond your professional life,
Oh, for sure.
right into your personal life.
So the question is, how do we actually build this network?
Good question.
The source suggests reaching out to someone you admire in your field.
Okay.
That could be a former professor or a successful entrepreneur, someone whose work you just follow online.
Yeah,
Have you found that to be effective?
absolutely. It's simple but powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Reaching out doesn't have to be complicated.
Right.
It could be a simple email,
Okay.
expressing your admiration,
Mm-hmm.
asking a specific question,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're feeling bold, you can invite them to a virtual coffee chat.
Yeah, I like that.
The key is to be genuine and respectful
Right.
and focused on building a real connection, not just trying to get something.
Okay, so we've talked about willpower, being a producer, and the power of your network.
We have.
Ready for lesson number 4. This one is all about embracing change.
Okay.
The world is in constant flux.
Yeah.
Resisting it can be exhausting.
Oh, for sure.
What do you think?
Oh, it's like trying to hold back the tide,
Right.
Change is inevitable.
Absolutely.
Technology advances,
Yeah.
industries shift, our personal lives take unexpected turns,
It's true.
and the key is to adapt and evolve rather than clinging to the familiar.
Right.
It's fascinating. Our brains are wired to resist change.
Oh, yeah.
It's a natural response. It's rooted in our need for safety and predictability.
Mm-hmm.
But this fear of change can hold us back from incredible growth opportunities.
The source mentions they used to fear change,
Oh, interesting.
but they realized that significant personal growth happens when we step outside of our comfort zones.
So true. It's a permission slip to embrace the unknown,
Yeah.
even when it feels a little scary.
It's about shifting our perspective.
Exactly.
Instead of seeing change as a threat,
Yeah.
see it as a catalyst for growth and expansion.
I love it.
Right.
It's like, think about it. When we challenge ourselves,
Yeah.
adapt to new circumstances, learn to navigate unfamiliar territory,
Mm-hmm.
we develop resilience, resourcefulness, and a deeper understanding of ourselves.
I like that a lot.
It's a process.
It is.
And I found that simply reframing the way I think about change
Okay.
can make a huge difference.
So instead of asking, why is this happening to me?
Right.
You ask what?
I ask, what can I learn from this?
Oh, I see.
How can I use this to grow?
Okay.
It helps me stay curious and open to new possibilities,
Mm-hmm. Even when things feel chaotic.
especially when things feel chaotic.
Speaking of things that can shift and change,
Okay.
let's talk about your reputation.
Ooh, okay.
This next lesson emphasizes that while achievements might fade,
Yeah.
your reputation lingers.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a really powerful idea.
Mm-hmm.
It connects to this bigger picture of how we interact with the world.
Yeah.
Achievements are important, but they represent moments in time. Your reputation is built over time, right, through your actions, your interactions. Absolutely. And it's about, the values you embody, the way Yeah. you treat people, the trust that you build.
And that's something that endures,
It does.
regardless of your accomplishments.
And the source really drives home this idea that people might not remember every single thing you accomplished,
Right.
but they will remember how you made them feel.
Exactly.
They'll remember your integrity, your kindness, your character in a world where everything seems so temporary.
Yeah.
That's a powerful thing.
And it really speaks to being mindful of our impact on others.
Yeah.
Our actions, our words, our choices.
It all contributes to the narrative.
It really does.
And the source sums it up perfectly.
How so?
Protect your reputation like a valuable asset.
Mm-hmm. Because it's something you build over time,
It is.
and it's worth safeguarding.
Okay, this next topic might not be top of mind for everyone in their 20s.
Yeah.
But it's something that the source really emphasizes is super important to start thinking about
Yeah.
early on.
It's that.
Retirement planning.
Oh, wow.
It's easy to put it off and think, oh, I have plenty of time.
Yeah, you think you have forever.
But the source makes a compelling case for why starting early is so key.
I'd be curious to hear that.
Well, this is where a basic understanding of compound interest can make a huge difference.
Right. Tell me more.
So, in simple terms,
Yeah.
Compound interest allows your money to grow exponentially over time
Mm-hmm.
because you're earning interest not just on your initial investment,
Okay.
but also on the accumulated interest.
I see.
Like, imagine you invest just $100 today.
Mm-hmm.
It earns a modest 5% interest annually. After a year, you'd have $105.
Right. Not a huge gain.
But here's where the magic happens.
Okay.
The second year, you're earning 5% on $105.
Oh, wow.
Not just your initial $100.
So it keeps building.
Exactly. And this effect snowballs over time.
That's incredible.
So even small, consistent investments
Yeah.
can grow significantly over decades.
That's amazing.
It's like planting a tree.
I like that.
The best time was 20 years ago,
Right?
but the second best time is today.
That's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
So even if you're just starting out,
Mm-hmm.
can only contribute a small amount each month.
Yeah.
Those consistent investments,
Mm-hmm.
coupled with the magic of compound interest, can add up
Yeah.
big time.
It is magical.
It is.
And here's a practical tip. Automate those contributions.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Set up automatic transfers from checking to your retirement account each month.
Just set it and forget it.
Exactly. And watch your savings grow effortlessly.
Okay, so the source's advice boils down to this.
Mm-hmm.
Set up a retirement account today.
Okay.
Even if you can only afford a small amount,
Right.
and automate it.
I love that.
Makes it seamless.
It does.
Okay, last but certainly not least, let's delve into the realm of relationships.
All right. This is a big one.
Specifically, the impact of choosing the right partner.
Yes.
The source really highlights how your partner plays a massive role in your overall success and happiness.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
I know. This is something I feel really strongly about. It's
Yeah.
often overlooked.
It is.
Especially in our 20s when we're so focused on building careers,
Right.
establishing independence.
Yeah. But the reality is that our romantic relationships.
They have a profound impact on
Uh.
every aspect of our lives.
So true.
A supportive partner can be a source of strength, encouragement, inspiration,
Yeah.
helping us achieve our goals, navigate challenges, and just live a more fulfilling life.
I love that.
They paint this picture of a partner who encourages your growth, aligns with your values, and is there to catch you when you stumble.
You need that. Someone to celebrate your wins and support you through the tough times.
That's what it's all about.
It is.
It's the ideal scenario.
It is.
A true partnership where both individuals feel seen, valued, and supported.
But it's important to remember
Yeah.
that finding the right partner isn't just about luck or chance.
Right.
It requires self-awareness, clear communication,
Yeah.
and a willingness to be vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And it's not a decision to be taken lightly.
It's not.
It's a big one.
The source also cautions that the wrong partner
Uh-oh.
can drain your energy,
Yeah.
hold you back from your goals,
Oh, that's the worst.
create unnecessary drama.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
Right.
It's so true.
We're all influenced by the people we spend the most time with.
Oh, absolutely.
A partner who doesn't share your vision,
Mm.
doesn't support your dreams,
Yeah.
or undermines your confidence.
It can be detrimental.
It can.
So how do we avoid falling into that trap?
Well, it starts with knowing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What are your core values?
Okay.
What are your non-negotiables in a relationship?
Yeah.
What kind of future do you envision?
I love those questions.
And it's a journey, not a destination.
It is.
It often involves trial and error.
It does.
The key is to be honest with yourself about what you want and be willing to walk away
Yeah.
from relationships that don't align.
It's tough to do.
It is tough, but it's important.
And remember, a healthy relationship involves continuous effort
Yes.
and communication
For sure.
from both partners.
Absolutely.
Whew, we just covered a lot of ground.
We did.
From mastering your willpower and being a producer to the power of your network,
Right.
embracing change,
Yeah.
building a stellar reputation, planning for retirement,
Yeah.
choosing the right partner.
It's a lot.
It is a lot to process, but I'm already feeling inspired
Yeah, too.
to take action on some of these lessons.
Absolutely.
We'll be back in a flash with even more insights.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
I will. Welcome back. I don't know about you, but after that last segment, I'm feeling like I need to take some notes.
I know, right? So much to unpack.
Maybe call my financial advisor.
Right. But what I found encouraging is they don't present it as like a one-size-fits-all formula.
Yeah.
They acknowledge that everybody's journey is unique, which brings me to the next lesson.
Right.
Life is a journey, not a race.
Well, I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others.
Especially in your 20s.
Yeah. You see people hitting certain milestones, getting married,
Buying a house.
landing a dream job, and you wonder if you're falling behind.
Totally. It's like everyone's posting their highlight reel on
Yeah.
social media, so it's hard not to get caught up
Definitely.
in the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
But what the source reminds us is that everybody's timeline is different.
It's so true.
There's no right or wrong way to do life.
Exactly. We all have our own paths. And those paths are filled with twists, turns, detours,
Yeah.
unexpected adventures.
I love that.
It's about embracing the journey
Yeah.
with all of its imperfections and trusting that we'll get where we need to be.
Listener, have you ever felt that pressure
Yeah.
to conform to a certain timeline in your own life?
Oh, I think it's something we all grapple with.
Sure.
To some extent, you know.
But what I appreciate about the source's perspective is it encourages us to let go of that comparison game.
Yeah.
Focus on our individual growth. They even mention that it's okay to not have everything figured out in your 20s.
It's so freeing to hear that.
I know. I needed to hear that.
I did too.
It was a relief.
It really was.
Big relief.
It's a message we all need to hear.
We do.
Your 20s are a time for exploration,
Yeah.
experimentation, learning from your mistakes.
Absolutely.
Try new things, figure out what you're passionate about, build a foundation.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly normal to feel lost or uncertain.
Totally. Speaking of feeling lost,
Okay.
have you ever had a moment in your life where you felt completely unsure
Oh, yeah.
of what you were doing?
For sure.
Or where you were headed?
Absolutely.
How did you navigate that?
I think those moments of uncertainty are inevitable.
Yeah.
It's like, we're all navigating through this dense forest, and sometimes we lose sight of the path.
It's true.
One of the most challenging periods for me was in my early 30s.
Okay.
I had what looked like a successful career,
Yeah.
but I felt deeply unfulfilled.
Wow.
I was constantly questioning my choices, wondering if I was on the right track.
Yeah.
It took a lot of soul-searching conversations with mentors,
Yeah.
some brave decisions to shift gears.
That takes courage
It does.
to acknowledge that something isn't working.
Yeah.
Make a change,
It's hard.
even when it's scary.
Yeah.
And there's so much societal pressure to stick with the plan,
Right.
even if the plan is no longer serving you.
Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is trust your gut
Totally.
and make a change.
That reminds me of something the source mentioned.
Okay.
In the intro,
Yeah.
they talk about sharing these lessons from their, 57 years on this planet.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
I think so.
We're tapping into decades of wisdom here,
It really is.
condensed into these bite-sized lessons.
Like having a mentor
Yeah,
who's walked the path
exactly.
and is willing to share their insights.
The good and the bad,
The good, the bad, the ugly.
all of it.
And by absorbing these lessons, hopefully we can avoid some of those pitfalls,
Right.
navigate our own journeys with more clarity
More intention.
and intention.
Yeah.
I'm curious, is there a particular lesson that's resonated most with you, listener?
Yeah, for me, it's the one about being a producer, not just a consumer.
Oh, that one really hit home for me too.
It did.
Yeah, I've already started brainstorming some creative projects
Oh, nice.
I've been putting off.
Good for you.
It's easy to get caught in the cycle of consuming, but there's something so satisfying about creating.
It really is.
Have you started any new creative projects lately?
I've been inspired by the source's emphasis on building a strong network.
Oh.
I tend to be more introverted,
Yeah.
so I need to push myself to connect.
Yeah,
But I know how valuable those connections can be,
they are.
both personally and professionally.
I'm curious, how do you approach networking? Does it come naturally to you, listener? Or is it something you have to work at? Okay, eager to dive back in
Let's do that.
to some additional takeaways from the episode.
All right.
One thing that stood out to me was their perspective on work-life balance.
Okay.
They seem to advocate for more of an integrated approach
Yeah.
rather than trying to compartmentalize those two aspects of our lives.
I think it's a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
That traditional work-life balance model creates this sense of separation.
Right.
It's like these two spheres are always competing,
Yeah,
for our time and energy.
exactly.
We're expected to be on at work and then switch gears to be fully present in our personal lives.
Right.
But these two areas are intertwined.
For sure.
What happens in our personal lives impacts our work and vice versa.
Totally. It's like we're expected to be two different people,
Right.
our work selves and our personal selves.
Yeah, and I think there's a growing recognition that trying to maintain that separation is unsustainable
And detrimental.
and
Good
detrimental.
for our well-being.
Exactly. So the source suggests a more holistic approach
Okay.
where we find ways to weave those two things together
Yeah.
in a way that feels authentic.
Right.
Do you think, listener, do you strive for that clear separation? Or do you prefer more of an integrated approach?
I know. It makes me think about the rise of remote work,
Yeah.
flexible schedules,
Oh, for sure.
blurring those lines even more,
It is.
which can be liberating but also challenging.
Absolutely,
It requires us to be intentional
right?
about how we manage our time and energy.
It's about creating those boundaries that work for you.
Yeah,
Finding ways to integrate the things you value into your life.
absolutely. Spending time with loved ones,
Mm.
pursuing hobbies.
Taking time for yourself to recharge.
Okay, another theme that caught my attention was
Yeah.
the source's emphasis on continuous learning.
Okay.
They're a big advocate for seeking out new knowledge
I love that.
and skills.
No matter what, no matter your age or your stage of life.
That's so important because in today's world,
Yeah.
those skills we learn today might be obsolete tomorrow.
Right.
So we need to be lifelong learners,
I agree.
constantly adapting.
It's like we need to embrace a beginner's mindset,
Oh, I love that.
approaching new subjects with curiosity.
And humility.
Humility, yes.
And you know what? The source even suggests
What's that?
that we should be open to learning from anyone,
Cool.
regardless of their age or experience.
Wow, I love that idea.
I do too.
Everyone you meet knows something you don't.
Exactly. It's about fostering that intellectual curiosity
And
and recognizing that learning is ongoing.
it's a process,
It is.
not a destination.
Yeah.
An important reminder for all of us.
It is. The source also touches on taking care of our physical and mental health.
Okay.
This is something that's often neglected,
It is.
especially when we're young.
We think we're invincible.
We do push ourselves to the limit,
Yeah,
burning the candle at both ends,
we do.
sacrificing sleep, exercise, healthy eating habits.
It's true.
It's like we think we can run on fumes,
We do.
but the source wisely reminds us that our physical and mental health
Mm.
are the foundation,
They are the foundation
upon which everything else is built.
of everything.
Without that strong foundation,
Yeah.
it's hard to achieve our goals.
So
To maintain healthy relationships.
Or even just enjoy life to the fullest.
Right.
Right.
So they emphasize prioritizing self-care,
It's so important.
getting enough sleep,
Mm-hmm.
eating nutritious foods,
Moving your body.
moving our bodies, or seeking professional support.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite self-care practices?
I'd love to hear from our listener on that one, too.
It's a reminder that we can't pour from an empty cup.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
We need to take care of ourselves first
Yeah.
to show up in the world.
Okay, one last nugget of wisdom before we wrap up this part of the deep dive.
Okay.
The source offers some really insightful perspectives on failure.
Interesting.
They don't shy away from it.
No.
They embrace it as a part of the process.
Yeah.
They encourage us to fail fast and fail forward.
Have you ever heard that?
I have.
I love that.
It's about shifting your mindset, right?
Totally. From viewing failure as a setback
Yeah.
to seeing it as an opportunity.
The learning opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that failure is not the opposite of success.
Yeah.
It's a stepping stone on the path.
It's true.
And, the source even suggests that our biggest failures often lead to our greatest breakthroughs.
It's like that saying, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
I love that.
And often, the lessons we learn from our failures
Yeah,
are the ones that stick with us.
they do. They help us refine our approach,
Absolutely.
develop resilience,
Yeah.
and ultimately achieve greater success
In the long run.
in the long run.
You got it.
So what are your thoughts on failure? Do you see it as something to avoid, listener? Or do you embrace it as an opportunity to grow?
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into 10 life lessons at 50 for your 20s. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling energized by all this advice.
Me too. It's
Yeah.
it's incredible how much wisdom you can get from someone who's, been there, done that,
Right. And they're willing to share.
and share those experiences.
Yeah. One of the overarching themes for me has been this idea of personal growth.
Okay.
They seem to believe that we should always be striving to become
Yeah.
the best versions of ourselves.
I love it. What do you think about that, listener?
It's a powerful concept, right?
It is.
Like, personal growth is recognizing that we're not fixed.
Right.
We have the capacity to learn and evolve.
Throughout our lives.
Yeah. And it's not about achieving some idealized version of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about embracing that journey of continuous self-discovery.
I think so.
Yeah, like pushing beyond our comfort zones,
For sure.
challenging limiting beliefs, developing new skills.
And perspective.
And perspectives, it's not just external achievement.
Right.
It's also about, cultivating those inner qualities like
Right.
resilience,
Compassion.
self-awareness.
Yeah. Have you had any aha moments on your personal growth journey, listener?
It's those aha moments that make it rewarding.
They do. They really do.
Like, those can come from the most unexpected places.
They can.
Like a challenging experience, a conversation with a mentor,
a book.
a book or podcast.
Yeah.
They lead to these profound shifts in our understanding
Go
of
for it.
ourselves and the world.
Right.
One aha moment for me from this episode was their emphasis on
Okay.
finding meaning and purpose in our lives.
Yeah.
They make a distinction between achieving success, which is often externally driven,
Totally.
and living a life that feels truly meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Which comes from,
And aligning our actions with our values.
It does.
Contributing something positive.
Absolutely.
It's such an important distinction, I think.
It is, because that success,
Yeah.
as it's often defined, it can be fleeting
Yeah.
and unfulfilling.
If it's not aligned with that deeper sense of purpose.
Right.
True fulfillment comes from knowing
Yeah.
our work, our relationships, our actions are making a positive impact.
It's about that impact.
They even challenge us
Okay.
to ask ourselves, what legacy do I want to leave behind?
It's a big question.
I know, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Have you ever considered that? What kind of legacy you want to leave?
It can feel daunting, but it's also empowering.
It is.
It forces you to think beyond your own needs.
Totally.
Consider the impact you want to have.
It's not about fame or fortune.
Right.
It's about living a life that's authentic,
Yeah.
purposeful, aligned with your values.
Making a difference.
Yeah, however big or small.
Leaving the world a bit better.
You got it.
And they offer some practical advice on how to tap into that.
What's that?
They suggest exploring your passion,
Okay.
identifying your strengths, finding ways to use those strengths.
To serve others.
Yeah.
I love that.
And surrounding yourself with people who inspire you
Right. People who support your growth.
and challenge you to be your best.
Absolutely.
And of course, never stop learning, growing, evolving.
It's all about that growth.
Wow. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah.
From mastering willpower, building a network,
Yeah.
embracing change, reputation, planning, partner, self-care, finding meaning.
You covered it all.
It's been a journey.
It has.
And while it's geared towards those in their 20s,
Yeah.
I think these lessons are universal,
They are?
applicable to anyone,
Really are.
at any age or stage.
No matter where you are in life.
These truths about willpower, connection, resilience, purpose, personal growth, it's timeless.
So true.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to challenge you, listener.
Yeah.
Take one of these lessons that resonated
Okay.
and commit to putting it into action this week.
That's a great challenge.
It doesn't have to be huge, life-altering.
Oh.
Even a small step can make a difference.
Maybe it's reaching out to someone,
Yeah.
starting a creative project,
Mhm.
or just dedicating a few minutes each day to mindfulness.
I like that.
Whatever it is, take that first step
Yeah.
and see where it leads.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into 10 life lessons at 50 for your 20s.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
We hope you found these insights valuable.
And inspiring.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
See ya.